As many as 80 Providence police officers could lose their jobs if they don't get at least one COVID vaccine by today.
And that's in addition to any other unvaccinated city employees, but the city council voting today to try to stop this from happening. Kate Walsh joining us live this morning with more on what's at stake today. Kate.
Well, today is the day that Mayor Jorge Elorza set late last month for every city employee to get at least one shot of the vaccine before the end of work today. But City Council President John Igliozzi is holding a vote of the City Council this afternoon to try to block enforcement of that mandate, fearing that many city employees could lose their jobs and then what it would mean for the city if that were the case. As of last week, Commissioner Stephen Perry said that there were up to 80 of his 450 police officers who were unvaccinated still, and my colleague Steph Machado checked just yesterday, and just under 80 were still unvaccinated, about 17% of the force. The Providence Police Union has been vocal about their opposition to this mandate and said their lawyers have been in talks with Elorza to negotiate an agreement. The mayor's office said he would work with officers who have at least appointments scheduled or who are waiting to get the shot because they recently had COVID. Igliozzi and Elorza spoke with 12 News earlier this week.
I would think everybody in Providence and everybody who visits and everybody in the state wants to know if there's not going to be any police come Saturday morning. I know in my neighborhood they want to know that.
Calm down, right? That's not the way that policy making, that's not the way we do our policy, that's not the way we run the city.
And the mayor went on there to say that it wouldn't be like people lose their jobs at 4:31 p.m. today. He said next week he would review all of the processes and who has submitted their vaccination proof. And even if the city council votes to not enforce this mandate, well, it doesn't mean that it won't be enforced. I'll explain the whole process if that becomes the case this afternoon in the next half hour. Live in Providence, I'm Kate Walsh, 12 News.
Providence city workers have until today to get their first shot of the COVID vaccine or risk getting fired.
Yeah, Kate Walsh is live in the capital city this morning, where the city council president is hoping that a vote today would prevent that from happening. Kate.
Well, we're live outside the Providence Public Safety Complex, and at last check, my colleague Steph Machado yesterday found out that about 17% of police officers here still did not have at least just one shot of the COVID vaccine, and that's the equivalent to nearly 80 police officers. So many of them could risk losing their jobs if they don't show proof of vaccination by end of day today. Now, the City Council President John Igliozzi is planning to hold a City Council vote this afternoon in hopes of blocking the enforcement of this mandate moving forward for the city of Providence, and fears that too many people here would lose their jobs. But even if they vote to block the enforcement of the mandate, Mayor Jorge Elorza can veto that vote. The city council would then need a 2/3 majority vote after that veto to override it, which would prevent enforcement. Mayor Elorza hasn't said if he plans to veto a city council decision made tonight, but he did say there would be an administrative process and review next week before anyone actually loses their job.
If you are looking to do a mass firing of 70 police officers come Friday, well, then you need to come forward with a plan on how you're going to manage the city in a safe and secure way.
Folks aren't going to be fired at 4:31 on Friday. We're going to take next week, and we're going to review all the attestations around vaccinations.
So the city council plans on meeting this afternoon for that vote. If they do decide to block the mandate, then the mayor could veto it. And if it comes back to the city council, well, they would need at least 10 of 15 city council votes to override the mayor's veto. Live in Providence, I'm Kate Walsh, 12 News.